So, what I want to do today is share with you some insights into how I created videos with Descript. So, Descript is a tool, you see this here on the top left side. It's a tool where you can record videos and where you can edit videos. And I used Descript for some of my earlier videos, but now I moved to Loom. And I will give you some ideas of why I moved to Loom and also what I did with Descript. But the main part of this video is how you can use Descript for recording and editing your videos. So for what did I use Descript? I used Descript mainly because I had some ideas that I wanted to share, ideas that are not necessarily related to any kind of screen sharing. So there were just like general business and creativity ideas or how to do specific things. And for that reason, I decided I use Descript because Descript has one or like basically two or three very amazing features. And one of the features is the green screen. So you can see here on the left-hand side, the green screen. And so what it means is basically that I could record my videos in my living room with a very messy background, or at least the background, that I didn't really necessarily wanted to share on a video. And then I could apply green screen, and then the background would basically disappear. And I could change my background. And this is something what I love a lot. And then also there's something that's called Studio Sound. You also see this here on the left-hand side. And with Studio Sound, I was able to make my sound better because I have an old computer at the moment. And for that reason, the sound isn't that great. And at that time, when I did my Descript videos, I also didn't have a microphone. And even with a microphone, sometimes I felt that the studio sound of Descript is even better than using only the microphone sound. And for that reason, these two things were quite important for me to be able to, to record and edit my videos. And so that's the reason why I decided for Descript. And then I realized I can also cut out all my filler words. So I did this for several of those videos where I cut out all my filler words. And there's also a feature which didn't really work for me that well, but I also tried it out for only some of the videos, is that there is quite a new feature where you can also make it in such a way that you look to the camera directly and it doesn't look like you're watching a script or something else where you're looking at. I personally never used scripts. I normally like to speak just freely and then afterwards adapt my videos, but this really depends on every kind of person. And I know that a lot of people use scripts. So if you prefer to use scripts, then this is a great feature as well because it allows you to look at a script, record your video, and then later edit it and say, okay, I actually want to have it edited in such a way that I look directly to the camera. So this is some of the great features it has. And so with this video that I created a couple of months ago, as you can see in the mid of September last year, I want to basically show you based on this video how I did the editing and how you can do that too. So let's get started. And before we do the editing, one note on the recording. If you want to record, you can click on the record button and then you have an option to record yourself. You can also record the screen only. You can only record audio or you can do audio and then a video as well. I normally always record the video as well because I think it just adds a bit more, liveliness and gives you all the options to include yourself in the video from time to time as well. And this is what you see here in this first screen. I included myself. So when the video comes out, you will see yourself here on the screen and you can see I can basically move this around. So you see now I'm moving along the screen. I can move up and down. I can get really small and really big. So that's a fun thing. And you see here this image in the background. And now I clicked on the image, I can delete that image. So this is what you normally see. So you will have, if you apply the green screen, only having you at the screen and nothing else. And maybe you hear this a bit in the background. There is a noise coming from my computer because Descript on my computer, I have to admit it's quite an old computer, is quite slow. And so it takes sometimes quite a lot of time to load. And this can be a bit of a, let's say, negative game changer depending on how quickly you want to edit your videos and also how fast your computer is. But in general, here you see this, and now, I can play around with me moving along the screen, as well as adding background images or like just adding images in general. And if you want to do this, now you see I'm moving around here. Let's just park me here. You have this option here to add media, and you can either include your own media. So I sometimes include some images from Canva, but also you can include background videos. So you can search for videos that they are offering to you, and they have a large library of images. You can add GIFs, images, and audio. And for images, the image that you just saw that I basically deleted, I used their text to image feature. So this is basically ChatGPT in a very light version. The images are not that strong, to be honest. They work, but they're sometimes really off. And you can, I think, already see this here if you just look at those images. I mean, it is about light bulbs and innovation, but it looks that those sticky notes more kind of fly through the room compared to really being stick to any kind of wall that you can then walk along. So it is that these images are not as strong as I said, different AI models like ChatGPT, for example, but they still give you some idea and sometimes make it easier for you to quickly adapt and bring your ideas to life. So let's just take a very basic photo. Let's just use an Unsplash, and let's just take this one. So we click on this image. Now we have to load, wait a bit. Now it's loading. And it's loading a lot of time. And again, that's one of the reasons why I decided to actually move to Loom out of Descript, because Descript took so long for me sometimes to just loading images and downloading the videos, that I spent so much time editing my videos that I felt that this was not worth it for the purposes of how I use my videos. And so that's one of the reasons why I moved to Loom, because I'm just way faster, even though the videos are maybe not as perfect. But I think for you and also for the world we are living in, I think it's more important that you find the content helpful, that the content brings value to you, compared that the video is perfectly edited. And that's one of the reasons why I moved to Loom. But still, I wanted to share Descript, because Descript also gives you some nice features that you can obviously use. And depending on the purpose of the video that you want to do, Descript might be a better suited solution for you compared to, for example, Loom. So now we have here, let's go back to the screen and going back to Descript after this little excursus. So we already shared some ideas of moving around. But here now we have this background, and obviously it's nice that we have the background here, but we don't want to have it in the front. So what we can do is we can click, right click on this layer, and then we have a layer order, and we can say send to back. And now we see it's sent to back, and I'm back. Now you see we have to figure out that we click the right one. So now we clicked me. Now we can make me bigger again. And here we go. We can make sure that I'm in the middle of the screen. I can also get over the screen, so I can get even bigger, so make me bigger than the normal screen. What you can also do, what I like a lot. So when I started creating my videos, I created my videos in a, let's say, 1x1 square, as you can see here as well. But you also have the option to change the size of your videos. So even if you record your videos in a square format, for example, you can move to a portrait or landscape version. We don't do this now because it would take a bit too much space, but make sure that you do this very early on, because otherwise you have to change the size of each of the different frames of your video to this landscape. And this might be a bit of tedious work because you edited them all beforehand and then you have to edit them all again. And maybe one very important note before I forget this, better go to custom. Let's see if this works now. Normally there should be something where we can, let's say, advanced. Yeah, you go to advanced, and then you have to make sure that you do the minimum frame size for YouTube videos. And you don't necessarily need to do this for YouTube, but for example, if you do course creation and do this for Udemy and some other platforms, be very careful of what kind of screen sizes and minimum screen sizes those platforms have. Because what I did is I created a an Udemy course, and this course had 84 lessons. It was quite extensive. And the problem was I had the wrong size. I had a too small size. So I had to create all of those videos and change the sizing and then download it again, and especially because Descript is a bit slow with downloading and the file size it creates, it can get very long and very time consuming. So really make sure, depending on what kind of videos you want to create, that you potentially have to adapt the custom sizing that is given here by this video. So let's go out. So what you can do as well in a frame is that you can not only change the background, but you can basically put everything you want in there. So here is now me. Let's make me a bit smaller. Now let's put this one again. And then we have here elements or shapes. So I can click on a shape and I can say I want to have a rectangle. And now you see there is this rectangle and I can adapt this rectangle. Let's make it a bit smaller. I mean, this is not looking that nice, but you can see we can basically do whatever we want to. And now I can say here, I want to give it a specific fill color. So let's make this red. What I also like, you have here this little icon. So I can, like say, let's take it in exactly the same color as my pullover. And then when we are done, we can also give it a border. So we can say, like I want to have a border of 10. And this is, again, maybe the color of the border that I want to have. Or let's say we use the orange here. So we can play around with this one. We can give it a specific size. We can have a shadow effect, an animation effect, and some additional effects here as well. And you can also, for the layout, go here and have, for example, rounded. So you can say, let's do 50 pixel even. And then we have a nicely layouted even button, for example, that you want to put into your videos. And you can also add text. So I can put in text here. I can say I want to have a title. And then I can say, welcome. So this didn't work apparently. So let's do it again. Welcome. We need to kind of, find this here. So this is a bit big, so we can make it a bit smaller. We can say medium size. Maybe we want to only have, let's say, put it 80. Maybe we don't want to have it in white, but we want to have it in black. And then we can put welcome and move this over here. We have to wait a bit. Let's see, does it do it? Yes. So now we can put this here into welcome. And you can see you can really play around with this. You can add as many animations and effects as you want to. Animations are mainly those effects where you can say, okay, what do I want to have happen with this scene? So do I want to have, for example, the scene to shade out or zoom in or zoom out or spin in and spin out? So you have some options here that you can put here with the effects and the animation, and then the effects. You can see chroma key, film gain, blur, pixelate, zoom blur, green screen, color adjustment. So there's a lot of options. You can just, as I said, play around. And now we talked about one specific frame. But when you record your videos on Descript the first time, you don't have a specific frame. You have one transcript. And Descript is very good with transcripts in English. It's not so good with transcripts in different languages, at least not German. So I tried some videos in German and the transcript is really bad. Maybe they improved this up in the point where I record the video, which is January 2024. But at the time, I used it the last time 1 or 2 months ago. It was really bad transcript while in a language that is not English. As I said, in English, it's really good. And what does it do? So you get this one long transcript automatically when you record your video. And when you're done, you see here what I already did, these forward slashes. And the forward slashes are those things that you can put into your text to determine how many frames you want to have. So any kind of those forward slashes mean one additional scene or one additional frame. And so you can see I did a lot of them. I did a lot of them with a lot of context and text and things inside. So everything that you see is something that I created with Descript. So I didn't use slides in that video or for that video, but I just recorded my video with me here, basically looking in the camera. Then I applied green screen and studio sound. And then I started editing my videos by creating those different frames and adding more and more insights into those frames. So you can see I added some images here. I added all this content basically. And yeah, these are these different frames with all the content that I added. But how can you do this? So now we have this one frame. So this frame goes until from here, do you want to create your first YouTube video, until so let's get started. So what we can do is we can say, maybe we want to cut this out here. No, we don't want to correct this, but we want to have a different frame here as well. So what I would do is just enter. You don't need to, but I like to enter because then it makes it more clear what are the frames and where the next frame starts. And then I can add a slash. And in that moment, you see, I edit this and I see here now I have two different frames. It copies my first frames, it uses the next one. And now I can edit this frame compared to that one, while this one, the first one, stays exactly the same. So I can, for example, say, I don't want to have a text anymore. I want to have this a bit bigger. I maybe want to have a different text, or I want to have an image in here. Then I can edit exactly that frame in the way I want to have it. And then I can add those animations and can say, for example, zoom in. And then it gives me this zoom in option here as well, where, when it's loading, where I basically have the options then to zoom in and zoom out. And that's basically it. Nothing really more to know about it. This is the main things. There are some additional things you can do, of course, but these are the main things of how I use Descript to not only record, but also to edit edit and work on my videos and create quite nice videos. When you're done, then you can click on publish. And then you have an option to make this public. I normally chose not to do it public. So I put the access always on anyone with the link and project access required. So I put the project access required. And then I downloaded the video here. And then I would just download to my computer. Maybe one additional point that might be helpful for you, or also if you want to consider using Descript. Descript has also something that's called AI Writer or AI specific personalities. And they can also talk for you. So you have a lot of options to use AI in that sense. So you have this AI voice that can that is basically built upon you. So you can include, if you pay for the premium version, so you can say, like, this is my voice, and I do some, basically talking, and then they create an AI voice for yourself. So if, for example, you realize that specific parts of your videos you don't like and you want to edit them, or you want to completely delete and redo them, then you can also do this with this AI voice, because the AI voice can also then read the text that you're inputting. So in that sense, it gives you a lot of options for editing, and it allows you a lot of flexibility when editing your videos. So this was it. I hope this was helpful. So if you plan to using Descript as well, then you have now some ideas of how it works and how it looks like. And hopefully, this is helpful for you. And you may create, record, publish your next video with Descript. So with this, have a great day.